Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. A federal judge has blocked the Trump administration's attempt to cut medical research grants in 22 states. These 22 states banded together and filed a lawsuit. In a statement announcing that legal action, Massachusetts Attorney General said in part, quote, "We will not allow the Trump administration to unlawfully," that's a really important word, "unlawfully undermine our economy, hamstring our competitiveness, or play politics with our public health." I want to bring in a really smart guy who knows all about this, Alex Tin. Great to have you with us. Thanks for being at the table. How much money are we talking about, and what are the legal contours of this fight?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to understate how much money we're talking about. We're talking about literally every research dollar that the NIH puts out to thousands of medical colleges, institutions, hospitals, nonprofits, you name it. Every one of those dollars is now tagged by this lawsuit, which is targeting something called indirect costs. What that means is, if you and I, Major, were scientists sitting doing some experiments with viruses, the direct cost would be the cost of, obtaining the stuff specific to that virus experiment. The indirect costs are the building that we're running it in, the equipment that we're using that's being used not just for that experiment, but other experiments. What the Trump administration has tried to do, they've tried it before in the first term, and they tried it now successfully, at least until they got blocked by the courts, was to dramatically cut the amount of money that the NIH would pay for these indirect costs. Now, it's important to remember, you mentioned it at the beginning, the argument we've heard from states and from medical colleges who sued to stop this action is that they think it's unlawful. That's for a number of reasons, but the two big ones to focus on here are, first, back in 2017, Congress actually added something to a budget bill saying that the NIH effectively can't do this. That's being challenged now. The second part is because these are grants that have been negotiated already. We're talking about research that universities and hospitals have already gone through a long process to determine that indirect cost they will be paid for. All of those negotiations were thrown out of the window.
And Alex, as I understand it, this question about federal allocations for indirect costs is not either new or irrelevant. It's an important part of the conversation. Congress has weighed in on it. As you said, the Trump administration tried to cap them at a lower level the first time around. It is a legitimate issue. But I guess what the legal challenge is, if you want to take up that legitimate issue, do it prospectively, not retroactively.
That's right. And, you've heard this argument from both hospitals, universities, the states, that the proper place to essentially wage this argument would have been in Congress, the same place that they first waged this argument back in 2017. And the culmination of that 2017 process was Congress adding to the budget bill a clause that said effectively, you can't change these indirect costs. But of course, there are questions. There are real questions, not only about whether that budget clause, the way that it was worded, actually does block the NIH from doing that. That's number one. But number two, and this could be the maybe side benefit for the people who first put forward this action, is that even if they do end up getting blocked by the courts, it's clear that this topic, this discussion is now back at the forefront, and there is now clearly some support for not only pushing for reducing these costs, but obviously pushing senators who initially were opposing these cuts to potentially now favor them.
All right, so taking it out of the realm of dry clauses in 2017 budget bills, but to actual human beings who may benefit or who may be jeopardized from the benefits of federal research, what are we talking about there? How to humanize this?
Yeah, I mean, you heard it from the universities who first brought this lawsuit. I mean, there is ongoing research happening right now for everything from cancer, diabetes. There's people getting experimental treatments right now in children's hospitals. All of that research is potentially affected if you make this dramatic cut to these indirect costs. What that means is that if you're a children's hospital, especially if you're a clinic that doesn't have a whole lot of extra money for that research could be paused, it could be suspended, it could be cut back because you just don't have the money anymore that you thought you did from that initial discussion with HHS where they said, oh, we'll pay for this person you need to meet XYZ regulation. That money isn't there anymore, at least if this order is upheld.
And to put that in practical terms, I'm a small hospital or a clinic or a mid-sized clinic or hospital. I have a budget for all this sort of stuff. I assume these costs are covered. If they're suddenly not, or I'm warned that they might not be, I've got to recalibrate everything.
Yeah, and
patients may suffer.
Exactly, and it's important to remind people that, it's not like if we were running a hospital, we can't just go to HHS and NIH and say, here's the amount of indirect costs we want paid for, give us the farm. We talked with former federal health officials who work in the office that's responsible for overseeing these costs. I mean, they do extensive
They scrub the
inspections.
books.
Exactly. They scrub the books. They go on site. They walk around these labs and say, what are you using this equipment for? Do you really need this person? Is this person really contributing to the research that you've applied for funding for? And as a result of that interrogation, as a result of those inspections, there's a very contentious negotiation process, sometimes lasting weeks or months between universities and HHS. And as a result of that, they come to an agreement on how much to pay for these indirect costs. And
So,
all of that is thrown out of the window.
quickly, Alex, right now with this judicial intervention, is the money still going out?
Well, supposedly it is. And, that's at least for the next few weeks until we get a court hearing on February 21st.
To try to resolve it all.
That's right. But what we've heard from the groups is that there are still questions of whether NIH will actually follow that order. There hasn't been guidance clearly one way or the other, so stay tuned on that.
I told you he was really smart. Alex Tin, thank you for that very, very much.